Hello! Today I've put together what I believe is the best way to tackle the different challenges that astrophotography brings, while saving just the right amount of money, time and frustration. My name is Christian and this is how we deal in Astronite. I believe challenges are there to shape our passions, creating paths and circuits in our brain that help us accomplish tasks that once seemed impossible. They allow us to push our gear to the limit and seek personal progress, and that is joy. Learning your way up with basic gear is incredibly rewarding, though sometimes challenging. Believe me. This learning curve is steep. There's always a new technology to master, a technique to refine, or software to overcome. So forgive yourself when you make mistakes and give yourself time to learn. Like riding motorcycles, this is not something you can simply learn in a mechanical way. It's something you must feel and dive into wholeheartedly. Like Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. This is a budget-friendly channel, and I'll always encourage getting technically better instead of buying your way out. Use whatever you have and use it to the fullest. Don't buy new gear unless you've reached a true technical limit. But on the other hand, leaning too hard on budget gear can make you miserable and take away all the joy. So you'll constantly have to balance between learning and upgrading, between wit and money. Along my astrophotography journey, I've reached several important limits. This will upset some and surprise others, but Earth is round. Because of Earth's rotation, the stars appear to move across the sky as if we're inside a giant rotating sphere. This complicates things. Long exposures require still objects. When I tried to stack some of my first images, I was excited, but no one tells you the cruelty felt when Deep Sky Stacker says it found no stars in your frames. It's rejection all over again. Nothing prepares you for that, so be warned. Your first images will suck. After a year of improving results with my Celestron SE Alt-Az mount, I could push exposures no further than 30 to 45 seconds, and that was throwing away at least 25% of the lights. Then came the first obvious upgrade, the much needed Skywatcher EQ6R Pro mount, far more suited for astrophotography, especially for my 2032mm focal length and its 12 kilos or 26 pounds OTA. I started by shooting with my phone through the eyepiece. I immediately saw the potential of switching to a DSLR. With the right adapters and an intervalometer, I upgraded to my 2009 Nikon D90. An inexpensive step that massively increased the image quality. My best moonshots were taken by it. The D90 had vibrant colors and great daytime quality, but nighttime was a different story. Older cameras often lack sensitivity and ISO range, and those faint nebula are tough to capture. So I stepped up to a 2012 Canon 6D with outstanding results, full frame sensor, higher sensitivity and wider ISO range. It also produced some wild vignetting. With a proper rig, I could now push my gear harder, but it still didn't perform as I expected. Even doing my best, I was still getting star trail with exposures over 120 seconds. My poor polar alignment wasn't helping. So the next step was guiding. Adding a small guide scope, a planetary camera and PH2 running on a laptop solved those issues. With proper guiding and proper polar alignment, you can finally push exposures as far as you need. It's always better to shoot at dark sky location, but depending on where you live, light pollution becomes an early limitation. You'll be forced to expose only as far as your histogram allows you. If you see an orange, sort of brown gradient sky, that's something that you'll need to fix later. Shooting away from light sources or moonlight helps. When that's not possible, narrowband or pollution filters cut most of the artificial light, letting through only specific wavelengths. Great for one-shot color cameras, or OSC. I bought the Optolong L Extreme, which passes 7 nanometers of H-alpha and 7 nanometers of O3. Perfect for most emission nebulae. With the filter, my stock DSLR and the EQ mount guided, I could push exposures much further than ever before. But it came at a cost. Stock DSLRs have an IR filter that blocks about 75% of H-alpha light. I could take 300 to 420 second exposures, but it would only heat up the sensor and increase the noise, while the results were not great. You can invest in cameras and filters all you want, but you'll always reach the next limit. This is another steep investment that really tests your wallet. And there's two options here. Either a dedicated astro camera, saving money in the long run, but it comes with a downside. You will need a laptop or a mini PC to control it, or astro modify your DSLR. If I pick up a damaged second-hand camera, it might be a nice project, and it avoids the need for a laptop or an ASII. The mistake I made when I bought the SCT will haunt me forever. A faster refractor would have made my life so much easier. I'm saving up for a proper APO refractor. A good one, a really good one. In the meantime, my 135mm f2 Samyang partially fills that need for speed. Your PC hardware, software, and processing skills can limit your quality and increase your time spent editing. And maybe you just don't want to deal with all those steps. Exposures, darks, flats, bias frames. I get it, it's a steep path. Getting this right wasn't easy, and I skipped steps early on, like flats. I thought a bit of vignetting wouldn't be so bad, like in portrait photography, but skipping flats ruined many nights. From this point on, if you're still buying gear, you might be drifting into gear acquisition syndrome. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Well, yes, of course. If your goal is astrophotography with a telescope, I'd recommend the next things. Skip the ALTAS mount and start directly with an EQ mount. Get an Apo refractor and don't fall into the long focal length trap. Start with an older premium DSLR, just a bit more sensitive. Now available cheap, since everyone's switching into mirrorless. Learn at your own pace, one technology at a time. Follow every step in your procedure and take all your calibration files. Your result is like a chain. Each step is a link, and you can skip any. Stinking at something is the first step towards being kind of good at something. So take whatever camera and telescope you might have at home and start shooting at the night sky. Learn from your limitations and improve technically as much as you can. If your path was different, let me know in the comments below. I hope this video came at the right time and saved you some money, time and frustration. Let's keep climbing that learning curve together and see you in the next video. Good night.